2-1. Gary, dressing room, I'm sure that's in bits.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's always very, very sad when a team gets relegated, especially if it gets relegated out of the league. And it's got to work very hard then to get back in that league. But unfortunately, when you're second from bottom and you get relegated, then you generally deserve to be down there for whatever reason. And unfortunately, over the season, there hasn't been enough in the team. There hasn't been enough to keep the club in the league. We tried very hard over the last few weeks. Russell did when he came in, and we worked all hours God sends. We tried to get them doing the same. Unfortunately, the losers amongst them are less than professional sometimes. You know what I mean? That's why generally a team gets relegated. It is a point where I'm sorry I'm late, but obviously you have to tell a few little home truths to people, and some we've trusted and some we haven't, but we've had to use them, and in the end they end up letting you down.
You believe that some of the players in that football club have been less than professional?
Well, yeah, because that's what I just said. Because that's what happens when a team goes down. Something's not right, and recruitment, obviously the quality, but there's a fitness level that professionals have to maintain, and they have to live like professionals and act like professionals. And some of them, I think, found it very, very hard to do that, and that was what I found that was more disappointing than anything else. And so therefore the niggly injuries come in just when you need people, because you know they've not been available for certain reasons. So they haven't been able to train, they haven't been able to play.
So in your view, there are some people who haven't been living right for a professional footballer?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into details now. Do you know what I mean? It's not fair, because I don't want to tell the whole truths to the world. I've told them, I've given them the benefit of my experience, and how many of them would be looking for a club every year, because the last one's moved them on, and the next one will move them on, and the next one, because that's the way, unfortunately, some are. It's a shame for the club, but I think the club's strong enough to give it a right go back. I mean, I've got all the academy boys in there, the staff. I've got all the first team staff, Russell, Steve, Jamie, and everyone else. And I'll tell you now, that's a good group of people, that are really trying hard for the football club, and are devastated in there. They are, as we all were, more devastated probably than the changing room. Although there are some in the changing room that are professional, of course. And that's how it is, and you know that's what we've said. Hopefully the club's strong enough to come back quickly, because it's got a good academy in its system. It's got some good youngsters that wouldn't be ready this year, but I'm sure will be ready next year. And they've got to try and do a Bristol Rovers, if you like, depending on how they get on today, of course. But they've got to come back from the relegation as quickly as they can.
Gary, I'm sure you appreciate this is the question the fans are asking. What do you see your role within this football club going forward? Well,
my role was to have a good look at the football club, see, you know, from my experience, what I can pass on to the board of directors as to what's gone well, what hasn't gone so well, what they need. I promise you, I've been 24 hours a day trying to motivate some, and you know, they always say, don't they, if you want to motivate players, get players that you can motivate, and that's not always easy when you come into a club and can't change anything. But I hope to give the board of directors and the staff and everything a good rundown of how I've seen it. That's what I've just done with the players as well, and then we'll see what happens after that. It is disappointing, because it is a really, really nice club, and it's a genuine club actually. I've been at a few clubs, and you know, I'm telling you now, it's a genuine club, and there's a genuine directors room there, and so I actually want them to do well. So we'll see what happens.
So You're not saying yes, you're not saying no about the
No, I'm not saying yes and I'm not saying no. It's not the time really to make those decisions because I'm as down as everybody else because I was a part of the last 7 games. And it hurts just as much as if I was here for 46.
We should talk a little bit about the game. How did you see the game?
Well, I mean, funny enough, we had a couple of good chances. I thought that if we'd have been a bit braver, we'd have tucked a couple in. We keep getting caught with a deflection or something, that doesn't help. There's good play on their part, poor defending on ours. And they got their goal and they was able then to keep that and get their support going, and our support found it hard because we wasn't attacking with any sort of real intent. We give it a bit of a go at the end, but unfortunately you're bottom of the league because of quality as well as anything else. And when you've got to pick out that pass, or you've got to pick out that shot, or you've got to put in that good corner or that free kick, stick it in the back of the net, unfortunately that's not there at the moment.
And perhaps it was symptomatic that the goal, when it came, was a very scrappy one.
Yeah, that's what I said, it was a scrappy one, but good bit of play by that centre forward. He took it on his chest, struck it well. It was a good striker's goal, and unfortunately we haven't had a striker that was getting those types of goals or those numbers of goals to keep us in the league. We've got in there, but we haven't taken enough of our half chances and chances.
You've had a number of great days in football. Is this one of the lower ones?
Well, of course it is, because I've felt a part of the club. I've worn a tie every day, and I do, and I think the supporters deserve more. I think the board of directors deserve more, and I think the staff deserve more. Because they're honestly they're good people. I promise you, and it's not me just making it up. So hopefully there'll be a future for the club, and I made the players listen to their celebrations that were right next door. You couldn't not hear them anyway, but I didn't start talking until that sort of settled down. And is that the 2nd year running you've had a team get promoted here? Was it Rochdale, was it, last year?
At their place, Rochdale.
At their place, is it?
Second last game.
And it's another relegation on some of their CVs, so some of them won't have too many more before they lose their place in the Football League. Themselves as players, if they think they're going to get back to a Football League club somewhere.
You're clearly disappointed with some of your players. Is this the most disappointed you've been with a group of players since you've been in management?
Yeah, I think it probably is. Yeah, it is. Because I know what it takes to be winners like they were today. I know what it takes, and I know what you have to do and the sacrifices that you have to make to earn a living and not nick a living. You've got to earn a living and be professional, and really that's the professional teams police the dressing room themselves, and they make sure that nobody lets them down, and that's what I've said here now. I just felt that we've been less than professional, and that's why the club has found itself bottom of the league. The recruitment was very important at certain stages to get the right characters in.
Do you think there's a shortage of leaders in that dressing room?
Yeah, 100% a shortage of leaders, that's for sure. That's the first thing we say.
Gary, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Gary, in the hindsight, would you say it was an impossible job, the 7 games to go?
No, it's never an impossible. It's not impossible as in impossible, I mean, I came because I wanted to give it a go for me, you know what I mean? But of course, as we picked up injuries and shrinking violets, and all of a sudden it got less and less effective because we had to change the team every week. People were getting injured, people were this, that, and the other, and it got sort of weaker. Even though we kept them in most games, today we've kept them in a game against a team that have laid out a lot of money. They're second in the league, trying to get top of the league, getting a promotion, and yet we've sort of competed with them. Do you know what I mean? I mean, credit to them and well done to them, congratulations, but I didn't think they played us off the park, so we didn't need to improve that much to get an opportunity of staying in it with another point. Just 1 point we needed, didn't we? 1 goal.
Do you think the club needs to make a quick decision, and are you going to help them make that quick decision about what happens next?
Listen, anything they ask me, I'll help them with anything, because I now sort of feel that they put me in charge of the last 7 games, and of course I want to help them. They're pretty experienced as well, so they'll know that along the way there might have been a couple of mistakes. They've not done it on purpose, and it's important that we all say, well, okay, there was mistakes made, and unfortunately you've got to see it through and come back strong.